Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Cheryl. How are you? Excuse me. It is a brisk morning here in Ohio. It is 40 degrees. I had to put my socks on this morning, but then I got in the shower and I had to put mine back on. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. Let me know that you're here and where you're watching from. Let's hear those temperatures. Because, geez Louise, it's cold. All right, well, let's just use this one. Use the big one. Where are my ones at? So we're gonna make a candy cane this morning. Just a black and white kind of monochrome. Just kind of getting in. If you don't like real bright colors, I'm kind of eclectic. I like everything. Glitter, primitive, traditional. But this morning we're gonna use a 2.5 inch black and white check. Great for a farmhouse. Black and white is just classic. So I'm going to move you on down so you can see what I'm doing. Good morning, everybody. Come on in. I am Jeanette with Our Backroom Creations. This morning we are going to make a candy cane. I used to make these quite a bit. Good morning, Miss Tracy. Good morning, Reba. Reba, you're normally on YouTube. So welcome this morning. So we're going to start at the bottom. So you have to start with a little bit of glue. Let's see here. It doesn't really matter on this one. The only way you can tell is the little bump of the wire on the edge. This is wired ribbon, but you would not have to, for what I'm doing here, you would not have to use wired ribbon. You could do it with fabric. I was going to use drop cloth, but I used too much of it. I didn't have enough for this project. So the biggest thing is that you do want, well, a lot of people do it in red and white striped, like this one. And it's got glitter on it. I thought about it. I'm like, nah, let's go black and white. So we can either do it, yeah, we'll just do it side to side because then we'll get the check. So you want to lay your frame. You want a little bit over the edge so you can tuck this up in. You were scrolling through Facebook, and when I came on, well, thank you for popping on, Miss Reba. Good morning, Carla. So we're going to put a little bit of glue on the very end, just on the wires. See how bad I can burn myself this morning. So we're just going to let this sit here, this little open part for now. We'll come back and fix it in a little bit. I got to thinking the other day, and I'm not an anti-internet, anti-Facebook. What did we all do before there was Facebook? I mean, I'm old enough to remember. I'm sure some of you are. What did we do before Facebook? Because that's just like almost a morning ritual. So what we're going to do is we're just going to wrap it. You want to make it tight, but not extremely tight. I'm going to get twisted up here already. So you could do it diagonal if you wanted to go diagonal. But since it's check, I think we'll just stick to across. And you want to hold it kind of taut. And then every so once in a while, you'll want to put a little bit of glue down. I'd say about every 3 or 4 wraps. So I am kicking off Craft Around the Clock today. After I get done here, I go to work. talk to people. We actually spoke to people this early in the morning. Listen, my mom, unless she had a complete cup of coffee, you didn't talk to her. She was like, she's still that way. She's 76 years old. When we go out and stay with her for a few days, my husband the first time was trying to be like hospitable and talk to her, and I'm like, don't talk to mom. Don't talk to her before she had her coffee. So you kind of want to keep moving it up. It'll angle just a little bit, but it'll blend all together here pretty soon. So what's everybody's temperatures this morning? It is a brisk 40 degrees here in Ohio. Had to get my jeans out. Normally wear capris to work because I get hot, but it's going to be a little chilly on my end of the building, especially if they don't leave that door shut. I used to hate when people would call me first thing in the morning. I'm not quite like my mom, but I'm like, huh? They don't talk to you either, even until you had your coffee. Smart coworkers, right? I don't drink coffee. Never have. At this age, I probably never will. So I have an extra candy cane. This is actually the older candy cane wreath form from the Dollar Tree. They shortened them up. What was it last year or the year before? So they're a lot smaller. I had bought a case of them 3 years ago. So I still have them. So you just kind of wrap it around. So here's the straight part. Straight parts, whoop! Good thing I didn't end my broadcast. Let's put that over there. Woo. The straight part's pretty simple. Just go up, wrap around. Up here in the curve, it'll get a little bit tricky. Not too bad. You just kind of watch your puckers. You might have to glue it a little bit more up on the top. You'll get a little bit of a crease, but not a whole lot. I should drop my ribbon roll on the floor. It's getting all twisted. You could, good morning, Joan. If you want kind of a poofy candy cane, you could cover this with batting, quilt batting. Glue it down first and then cover your candy cane. That would give you a poofy look. So I find I get ribbons sometimes that really don't meet the standard. Look at all that curling. For my bows. See, this one's not, I mean, it's okay for a small bow. But for a big bow, the loops won't hold. So I'll use things like this for projects like this. Let's see if I cut that, because I am all twisted. Let's get untwisted. There we go. Let's put a little glue on. Oh, glue on there. So this week I get mostly day shifts. My schedule kind of changes. Kind of wacky. But I was glad. Last night, I have a craft show this weekend. So last night I made these little cute little wood blocks in my private group. They're like, that's easy. And I'm like, yep. As long as you can get the wood the size you want. bit too long, but that's okay. So when you get down here to the bottom, you're going to overhang a little bit, just like we did in the beginning. Almost said morning. Everybody wake up, rise and shine. It'll be a good day, hopefully. I always say, people at work in the morning, they say, how are you? I'm like, well, I woke up on the right side of the green. That's a good day. If any of you country music lovers, do you see that good grief, I couldn't even remember his name. The singer died. Passed away. Gosh, I had his name at the tip of my tongue. I hate when I do that. Old age setting in. So I want to end this on the back. Was it Dwight Yoakam? I don't remember. I hate when I do that. While I'm thinking about it, Mary from... Ooh, Mary's up next. Ocean Breeze and Me. She is up after me. We might have some little surprises later on in the morning. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you? Okay. We'll let that one set in just a minute. So we're going to come back down here to this. So we've got a little bit of a pocket. There. Got a little bit of a pocket right here. So I'm going to fold the bottom, which would be my top. This is my top. So I want the nice edge on the top. So we're just going to fold this in. And then I'm going to tack it with a little bit of glue. This is real thin ribbon. So if I put some glue in there, it's going to soak through. So I'm going to get me a little finger caught so I don't burn myself. So yeah, we made these. I have a craft show this weekend. I'm sorry, Jenny. Somebody go look it up. It was on Facebook when I opened up Facebook. Run it. We're going to look it up because now it's driving me nuts. It was 2 days ago. I don't want the whole singers. I just want to know who recently passed away. Good morning. We're looking up who passed away because, you know, Jeanette had a brain fart and can't remember. Who passed away in October? We're going to find it, ladies. We will find it. No. Oh my gosh, I just can't. It just popped up on my feed. Somebody go find it. Oh. Nope, that's it. Drive me nuts. Jenny, go find it. Got a little bit of an edge right there. I said, who passed away in October 2023? Obviously, lots of people, unfortunately. So that'll just give us a nice, even, kind of looks right there where the ribbon started. So now we'll come around and whack myself in the head. So we've got a little pocket in here. I'm going to do the same thing. Do the top of the frame first. So now you get this nice little pocket and a string. I know Loretta Lynn passed away a year ago. It's a guy singer. Hi, Debbie from Secondhand Treasures. So we're going to put a little bit of glue in here to keep that from coming out. Ooh, like that. It'll soak in. Okay, so there is our candy cane covered. Was it Mickey Gilly? Maybe. Was it Randy Travis? Maybe that's who I was thinking. Because I think he's had Parkinson's or... I am so horrible with names. Maybe not. Might have been Mickey Gilly. All right, let's move these out of the way. I made these last night in my group. Real cute and easy to do. Put them on a tier tray, put them on a mantle, a little vignette that, oh, I forgot to put this on here. See if we can get it in here. I'm not going to mess it up. But you should have done this first. Listen, guys, it's early in the morning. So this is just a paper coated wire. So you usually want to hang it from right in here. And it kind of just tilts out to the side. So I'll show you how to do that in the beginning. I'll just have to add one to that, but it'll be a little difficult. Just make like a U. And tilt your bottoms up. There we go. And then you just wrap it around your base. It's been a while since I made these. So you just do that and then you would wrap around it. Let's do this. Okay, I don't know what that will need the glue gun, but we won't tear it off. So after, really, you can decorate these as fancy as you want or as simple as you want. I've put greenery on them, like a whole thing of greenery, and then a big bow. I've done as little, just little bows. You could even do poofs with deca mesh. Good morning, Stephanie. But we're going to make just a monochromatic bow. Got some, this is just from Walmart. But it's like a velvet. It's really pretty. I don't use a whole lot of stuff from Walmart as far as ribbon goes. So I'm going to put a white on the back to kind of kick it off. Good morning, Nancy. You're a newbie to my page. Well, welcome. I am kicking off Craft Around the Clock this morning. We were trying to decide who passed away a couple days ago in the country singing world. Thank you for sprinkling from North Carolina. How's your weather doing? I don't know how cold you guys get. So this is just a dovetail. Fold it in half, cut a 45-degree angle. Really? See, I don't go into the store. I just do OGP. My husband went in there yesterday and he's like, now that I remember why we do OGP. So we're going to start with a 5-inch loop. Don't want nothing massive on there today. Thought I'd do this morning. I have a craft show this weekend. And I only have like 1 or 2 candy canes that are greenery. So I thought I'd make just a monochromatic one. I have that other frame out here if we get finished. Y'all, you know me better than that. I don't know if I can go that far. Oh, it's 39 degrees. Ouch. So we're going to do 2 loops on each side of this. Actually, let's just do I call it a Funky Lisa. In the wreath making community, we have names for bows that people have designed. Lisa Kellum designed the Lisa bow. Terry Marshall designed the Funky bow. So I kind of put them together. I used to put rubber bands on my ribbon. Yeah, that's a bad idea because it puts a crease down the middle. So a Lisa bow, I had glitter out yesterday. What happens when you have glitter out? I am in Ohio and my temperature this morning is 40 degrees. Good morning, Mary. The Mary that is up next from Ocean Breeze and Me. Normally, I don't turn my heater on until November 1st. I broke down. I turned it on. The little space heater just wasn't getting it in the morning. I was a little chilly overnight. So 2 bows on one side, 1 bow on this side. I have this buffalo ribbon I love. It's nice and sturdy. It's just, I know what brand it is. So what Velvet and Vines designs, what she was talking about, Ferris Silk is a very name brand ribbon. It's a designer ribbon. I love it. It's more expensive, but that's why we love it, because it's so good. You're in Virginia and it's 37 degrees. Oh, 36 in Pennsylvania. You guys are worse than me. So if my tails are on this side, then I'm going to start on this side. And we'll just kind of graduate down in size of our loops. So we'll go down. Let's see how many more I'm going to put on there. Probably just 1 more. 60s. Where are you at, Deb? You're out west, aren't you? We were just talking about what people did in the morning before we had, internet, cell phones, and all that stuff. Somebody said we actually talked to each other. My husband and I get ready for work around the house, and it's like good morning, and then it's goodbye. That's about the extent of our conversation. Florida, that's right. So this ribbon here, I bought like 3 50-yard rolls because I like it. And I do make wreath kits, or I recently just started making just ribbon sets for people to use in crafting and whatnot. Hi, Mary Carol. How are you? So I was at an event here at the end of the month, beginning of October. We had to make hand bows. I don't like making hand bows. It hurts my hand. But I made one, a little one. We had to make a little one. Mary actually reminded me of that. So I'm going to put kind of I was going to put that black one on there. Let's do this one instead, because it's got little buffalo check on the edges, and it's the velvet touch, just like this one. This one's, I think, yeah, it's 2 inches. So it's a little bit wider than my 1.5, but not as wide as the 2.5, which is usually the sizes that we use. So we'll use this one this morning. So we'll do another dovetail. You just fold it in half. Some people cut on the wired edge. Most of us cut on the folded side. Good morning, Mary. Another Mary. So here's our tails on this side. So we're going to go back over here. You wouldn't have to do this kind of bow. You could just do like one of the awareness bows that people teach if you have a problem. When I first started making wreaths, I could not make a bow. It just didn't happen. So my first wreaths did not have bows on them. Yeah, I did that right. Almost thought I goofed. It's a little too early for me to think. There we go. The old bow maker actually put a clothespin on here to hold my ribbon on, but this new one, you really can't do that to. One of my girls in my private group gifted me this. Just showed up on my porch one day. Good morning. Oh, Central Ohio. I'm in Ohio. I am north of Akron, Canton. Just a little bit. Oh. Ohio's big, so Central could be a lot. Listen, Texas is big. That's where I was at the beginning of the month. And it was hot. When something just shows up. And that one girl, she's done that a few times. I told her to keep stopping. But I love that she appreciates me. Oh, Columbus area. I'm about 2 hours from Columbus. My aunt lives in Lancaster. My uncle lives in downtown Columbus. And my grandma used to live in Reynoldsburg. I spent many a summer. Hi, Doreen. Wintersville. Now, isn't there two Wintersvilles? There's a Wintersville by Cambridge. I thought there's another Wintersville. Isn't that funny how some states have two of the same town? I know, Judy. It's always hot down there. Y'all know? Cool. So I like to use zip ties because pipe cleaners just don't get it as tight as we like. So once you get that pipe cleaner on there, you can just manipulate. So what's everybody got plans for today? Right after I get off done here by 9 o'clock, because we're Eastern time, I will be at work. Getting ready for Go Live. Yes, Debbie's on with Secondhand Treasures this morning. I think, Debbie, aren't you right after Mary? And it looked like we had a little bit of a gap. There might be some surprises in there. Learn how to drive in the snow. I am originally from Illinois, Central Illinois, Central Eastern. And yeah, the snow here is nothing compared to there. Yeah, blood work and exercise class. You go, girl. The only thing I will be exercising is how to get to my station. My back is out again. And again and again. My mom's like, you're too young for that. And I'm like, yeah, but I did a lot of bad things. Not bad, but like, you know, things when you're young. Oh, I can lift this. And years later, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Just a stock freight. I'm just making sure all my loops and tails are where I want them. Sometimes we get a little fuzzies at the end. Chiropractor for you. I have not been to a chiropractor in decades. After I had a birth defect found in my spine, they told me to stay away from chiropractors. Though sometimes I'd really love for them to crack my back. So just a nice little as I call it, a funky Lisa bow. And then we're just going to put it on here in just a second. But I want to add a little bit of greenery. I have bags of miscellaneous greenery, and I've got bags of just pieces in parts. Oh, please. I like this one better. It's got a little bit of frost on it, a little bit of pine cones. So we might do a little bit of a mixing. It's got a hefty stem on it. Let's see if we can pull these out. Yep. So they have all these wired together. You're not allowed to go to chiropractor. My sister goes and better. Right, Schneider? What do you mean? Save your tags, ladies. This is Regency. Snow cedar spray. So if you ever want to order greenery from, so maybe you get something from Greenery Gal and she's out, but you're trying to find it somewhere else. A lot of times there's little model numbers on here. If you just put that in your search engine, that at least label their greenery this with the same model number, and then you can find where else you can get it. I do that with ribbon a lot. I have quite a few sellers that I use. Then if I'm in dire straits of where to find it, I just look it up on the internet. That's how I found some new suppliers that I like. Well, that's good. Funny story, way back when, see, about 27 years ago, I had 2 children, a boy and a girl, and I was happy and content. Had a stepdaughter that was a girl. And wasn't that my husband and I were trying to have children, but we weren't not trying to have children because we didn't have any together. And I went to the chiropractor, and lo and behold, I am on early, Heather. We're on Craft Around the Clock. Lo and behold, 2 months later, I was pregnant. So, yeah. I've come to find out that your vertebrae affect certain organs in your body. This is, like I said, 27 years ago. Yeah. It was a good morning. So then my son came along. But then I didn't want any more, so we made sure that didn't happen. So I'm just going to take a little bit of greenery. My wire kind of popped out of my little plastic. Yeah, Mary is up next. Mary from Ocean Breeze and me, and then Debbie. So we're going to take these, got cute little pine cones on them, so we'll make sure that those are up. Some of these are not wanting to stay on, probably because I pulled on them so hard, trying to get them off the stalk. These we just pop right on. So we're going to mend these together. I don't want them that big. So if you don't want them that big, we're going to kind of overlap them. I want the top of this. I want my pine cone to show. There we go. So we're going to kind of intertwine them. If you don't want them real long like this, you kind of just intertwine them. And then you can put some different greenery. It always looks It's a little, Levada, it's a little bit chilly everywhere. So when you mix greenery, especially those of two colors, it brings some dimension to your arrangements. I want that pine cone to be out. There we go. There'll be some with little white balls. I'm a matchy-matchy person, so I like to do it what's on one side, I like to do on the other. If you're looking for greenery and you don't need nothing fancy, a good way to get greenery cheap is some of the Walmart greenery isn't too bad. Actually, I think this one was a Walmart one. I pluck these off to use them in other things, and then I push them back on. Thank you, Deborah. So we're just going to put some of these back on. I call these poppers. We have pushers that you can push everything up the stem. Some people call these pluckers. There we go. So we're going to take this. I want my pine cone out. So when I talk about dimension, I'm talking about different layering, different colors. So once you get everything together, find where you can put your pipe, or your either a pipe cleaner or a zip tie. I use a lot of zip ties. All right, you don't want to stay on? I'll make you stay on. You are up right now. Oh, just to watch me. You're so sweet, Dan. Dan's one of my private girls, group girls, and then she was at. We've actually gone to 2 or 3 events together. There we go. 35 in Wisconsin feels like 26 in shorts. What? Darlia, what the heck? I seen a kid, he was at Walmart yesterday doing the online grocery pickup. And he probably gets hot, but dang, he didn't have a coat on. He had nothing on. So I just made a little swag. So you could do it this way, or you could do it this way. It's a little big for me to do that way. So I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to first take my bow, put it on there, make sure that's where I want it. This white ribbon is, I bought a 50-yard roll of it, and I don't like it because it frays. It's one thing about ribbon that it's hard to find out what's going to fray and what's not. Get on there. And you could do this part with a zip tie as well. I just did it with the pipe cleaner that was on my bow. I love greenery in the winter, but when it's frosted, it gets everywhere. I had dumped over a bucket that I had greenery in, and it got the frosty everywhere. I don't like my. Let me show you another quick tip. If you have ribbon that you do this, whether it be on a wreath or any kind of project, put a shirt on. So this is called Fray Check. I got this one at Walmart, I think. You can get it a lot of places. But you can just put a little bit. It comes out really fast. Or maybe I gotta cut the tip. Just cut it ever so slightly. There we go. If you put it on the very edge, why isn't this coming out? I don't want to cut too much of it off. Maybe I have to put a pin down in there. I love those things. Just like those little bottles of glue. Oh, I don't even think I've gotten to. There we go. So you just take it and you go along your edge. Just the very edge. This white ribbon, it's not very good quality, but I like white every once in a while. So that will dry. So I'm just putting a little bit on the edge. You can barely see it, but it will keep it from fraying. And I only do it with a few ribbons that like to fray on the dovetail. Just like that's frayed from me just messing around with it. So if you sell these like I do, you don't want that to happen for your customer. So I have about 5 minutes left. No time to make really anything substantial. Is there any questions anybody has? Anything I can show you that I know? So there's our candy cane. Monochromatic with some greenery. I'll show you that front face here in just a second. So that's a pro tip there. Some people are like, why would you go to all the trouble? Thank you, Mary. How did I learn to make bows? Watching lots of people on YouTube. So I started out as a wreath maker. So my bow making was for big stuff. And I watched Scott Waterman, Damon Oates, Julie Samaco, Dylan Palmer. You know, a lot of those have wreath or bow making tutorials. If you go on YouTube and search bow making tutorials, lots and lots of people to watch. And like Stephanie mentioned earlier, you know, about the 4-inch ribbon from Walmart. If you need to practice on some ribbon, but you don't want to spend a lot of money, go to Walmart and just buy some of the less expensive stuff, and then you could practice on it. If you have problems, you know, matching, you just gotta look up color theory. You like the black and white, Deanne? So do I. I was gonna do my old whimsy self, but I didn't. Because you can even make the bows where you take one ribbon and go like this. So you're making an awareness, but you want the back down. I'm not going to cut this, but because then you scrunch it up, put this on top. I think I need a little bit bigger. I don't make bows like this. But it's easy for someone who maybe their hands hurt. Damon is easy to learn from because he has some of his older ones have it over his shoulder. So you could do it like that and then put another piece of ribbon around it or a zip tie or whatever. So that's just like a one loop bow. But let me, you guys talked me into the end. Thanks. So we're going to switch this morning. Okay. So this is a cute little arrangement. You hang on the front door, hang on any door really. And it didn't take a whole lot of materials, but they are cute. And they do sell. I sell quite a few when I take them to the craft shows and here locally. I don't even think I've even put any online. but I can if anybody's interested. But that's cute. You can do it all kinds of colors. You can put all kinds of different, if you didn't like greenery, you could put all kinds of different picks from Hobby Lobby, or I've made whimsical. I've done greenery candy canes and then decorated them like you would a swag or something. So thank you. All right, ladies, if you're not following me, I'd love for you to do so. I love making new friends. And if you're not part of Craft Around the Clock, you need to be. Thank you, Tony. So make sure you go see Mary from Ocean Breeze and Me. And then up after her is Debbie Nixon from Secondhand Treasures. All right. I'll see you later. Bye. Have a good day.